Hello, welcome. Welcome to day number 2 of our masterclass. We're just getting started here. So let's get technology up and running. And if you're just jumping on, go ahead and tell me how you're doing, where you're coming in from. Facebook open on my phone. Excellent. And we'll get started here in just a minute. Great. Now we are live. There we are. Okay, let's get our comments up. Okay, great. Give it a few minutes for others joining. I know a lot of people were catching the replay today. So if you're catching the replay, go ahead and hashtag replay and let me know how you're feeling after from yesterday. If you saw the first one, how you're doing, jumping on, whether you are here live or watching the replay. So let's get started while people are still jumping on. This is day 2 of our Heart Mending Masterclass series, and we're talking about how heartbreak can assist in our soul's evolution. Yesterday, we talked a lot about healing and the metaphor of healing being a spiral staircase. And if you haven't seen yesterday's, don't worry, you're in the perfect place. You can go ahead and continue watching this and get the full benefit. We'll touch back in a little bit how today's topic can fit into the spiral staircase of healing and how you can continue to take your next step and go on, continue up that next rung and continue to heal. First of all, I just want to check in how everybody has been feeling. I know after the class, I felt very great, but I was just having this sort of overwhelming sense of confusion and feeling like a lot of old things coming up and some vivid dreams. And it was brought to my attention that there was a solar eclipse and a new moon. And where it did not come to visibility where I live, it does not mean those energies aren't still here and very, very present. And that was on the 19th and the 20th. And one of the biggest energy messages I've got about this moon was that is about death and rebirth. And that's going to play in today's topic about letting go of old aspects of ourself. And this can feel very, very uncomfortable and leave us feeling really discombobulated and not knowing what is going on. And I was experiencing that personally. Once I figured out what was going on, I was able to go in and work with the records. And we'll talk again later today about how the records can assist in recalibrating wherever you're at and getting an understanding of what was going on for me. So today we're talking about self, and this will tie into those energies from the new moon. This is going to tie into our continuing to heal through heartbreak. And we're going to talk about self in the sense of before, during, and after. And for those of you who have not joined me before, my name is Morgan and I'm a Akashic Records practitioner. And when I'm talking about heartbreak, it's any life event that has left you feeling brokenhearted. So we're going to talk about this sense of self before, and it's super, super uncommon, whether you are in the midst of heartbreak, whether you're in the wake of heartbreak or a life event that has already occurred. It can make us feel really unfamiliar with who we are in the moment. And it can make us feel like we just want to get back to being our old self. And where there are aspects of this that is very helpful, that also can keep us frozen where we are at. I remember in going through, after I finished grad school, I went through a breakup of a very long-term relationship. And I was talking to one of my friends at the time, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to come through this the same on the other side. Everyone will see. And what she told me, I'll never forget. And it was the best advice ever. And she said, and you may not, and that's okay too. And it struck me when she said it, because it was like, all of a sudden it gave me permission to not have the answers of what was going on for me. And it helped me understand why I was so uncomfortable with what was happening, because I was growing through this breakup. Was showing me that my soul was evolving and growing, and I had outgrown this relationship. And it was making other people around me uncomfortable because, again, I was growing. And that can be unnerving for those who aren't on the same growth pattern as you, that aren't in the same growth mindset or trajectory. It can be really difficult in terms of family and close friends you've had a really long time, because they tend to see you as a particular way. And so when you begin to evolve and you begin to grow, it shakes their vision, their knowing, their idea of who you are. And it can be very uncomfortable for them. And it doesn't necessarily mean we're not going to be a version that they will love and appreciate and connect with. They just don't know, and we don't know. And sometimes the gap, the blank, the unknowing is the most scary, and we'll want to stick with something that we know, even if it's not serving us. It just is comfortable. And so we can give ourselves permission when you are going through, when you know you're growing, your soul is calling you to grow in your outgrowing relationships. You've gone through a life event that has really changed how you feel about yourself, your perspective of your life and those around you. Give yourself permission to have some space and know that you are growing and evolving, and embrace that uncomfortable unknowing. During heartbreak itself, we become a bit of a messy version of ourselves. And in this mess is where we really can discover some new things. And it can be really uncomfortable. We can easily want to feel betrayed by ourselves. Like, we can get down on ourselves if we've grown and we broke out of a relationship. Maybe we got a divorce. Maybe we've been through a loss and we're finding ourselves wanting to move on, and we feel really betrayed because that might betray the other person or this promise to this idea that we had of this relationship. And that can be a really tricky place to be, because that is not allowing your soul to evolve in the way, and you're holding yourself prison by judgments that just aren't serving you. Sometimes we can feel like we want to just discard aspects of us, especially in terms of outgrowing a relationship, giving up an old pattern. We can feel like, God, I wish I could just cut that part off of me and it would make everything easier. Well, those parts that we want to get rid of is such a good place to look at. Why is that? Get really curious, because there are aspects of us that we need to get rid of and we need to let die off in order to continue our growth, but we need to embrace why they were there, what they did for us. So growth in itself can really just look like old aspects of us dying, and that can be very scary because we have a lot of identity attached to those old aspects. And so it's important, again, like we talked about yesterday, continually tell yourself that you are safe in the midst of all of this uncertainty and all of these changes and all of this mess. Continue to tell yourself that you are safe, and begin to allow yourself to get curious about the new aspect of you. And a new aspect of you can show up in the form of you having a new idea. You can have maybe a new desire within you to try something new, put yourself out there in a different way. Maybe you're contemplating changing your look or how you go about your day. Those are new aspects of you showing up and assisting you in going through this growth period. So get really curious. Start observing what is coming in and allow yourself again to suspend that judgment just because it may not look or feel like it has in the past, like you have in the past, like your family or friends' perspective of you has in the past. That's okay, because we are here to evolve. One of the ways that you can really assist yourself through this messy version of going through, even when you're at the idea of like, wow, I feel like this relationship might not be working for me anymore, whether it's an intimate or a romantic, maybe a friendship, maybe a group of friends, a community, you can connect with your higher self to assist you in this, because your higher self is who is assisting you in driving and evolving. She or he is the one who is as nudging you, so to speak, to continue on this growth pattern. And by connecting with your higher self, that can be as easy as just connecting in and say, you know what, I would love some advice from my higher self. I intend to connect to my higher self. And you can use the mantra we talked about yesterday. You can ask your higher self to show you a sign in a way that you can see and understand and have the courage to take as to what your next step is. And your higher self will continue to begin to provide these for you as you cultivate this trust in this relationship. And you can ask him and her or her to assist you in very specific categories. If you're feeling like you want to really cut off an aspect because it feels ugly or it's not fun, you can ask your higher self to show you what you need to learn, or what this aspect of you is here to teach you in a way that you can see, a way that you can understand, and a way that you have the courage to listen to. And when we can do that and work with our higher self, and we almost feels like having a third party in there assisting us in this communication and in this dialogue, that can be really, really healing in connecting with your deep, authentic self. Because growth is here to assist us in connecting with our true, authentic self in the form of our soul on a deeper level, and it can feel super uncomfortable. So embracing these aspects of yourself that are waiting for you to take these growth steps and these soul lessons is really important and super supportive for allowing this growth to happen with the most ease and grace as possible. And so your future self is a little different than your higher self. You can connect with your future self because she or he can assist you through the turbulence. He or she has already gone through all of the steps that it has taken to get where you desired. So wherever you're at in that heartbreak, you can connect to your future self in order to ask her or him what steps they took to get to where they were at this point of peace. Maybe it's a point of joy. Maybe it's a point of success. Maybe it's to the point of a healthy, loving, supportive relationship. Whatever your desired outcome from your current situation is, your future self is waiting to assist you. Because when these opportunities show up to grow, even if in terms of a heartbreak, that means your soul has signed up for this and therefore has the tools to get through it, has the tools to receive the answers and to manage this growth and to evolve in order to fulfill that lesson. So that future self is waiting on the other side. This was so comforting for me when I came across this idea, this concept. It's like a cheer squad on the other side when we're left with so many unknowns, so many questions, and so many messy emotions, knowing there is somebody, an aspect of you on the other side that is pulling you through, is really supportive and comforting. And that again can help assist you in feeling safe. So yesterday we talked a lot about healing being in the form of a spiral staircase. And when we are in the midst of trauma, fresh from heartbreak, fresh from a situation, we are very tied to that pain and suffering and grief. We are on the bottom rung. And as we begin to heal, we can step up. And we spoke about there are different categories around as the circular form goes. I shared some examples of some categories from my personal life. One is definitely from my divorce. One was when I had a health crisis from MS. And another was the fact that I've had 3 back surgeries and I have this other physical thing that happens. And I'm at different levels with each of these. And they can assist one another in continuing to heal forward and forward. If you find yourself coming up to one of your categories that is just too raw and you're not able to make any movement, we can be frozen in place by the uncertainty of how it is all going to unfold. And sometimes we get stuck on this rung. And yes, we may be able to manage some things over here because it's further in the past. Sometimes some things come up over here and we can do it because they're a little bit more surface level, only for the fact that we have done the deeper work on them already. And sometimes what we have to do before we can go up, we need to go down before we can go back up. And so connecting with your past self is so helpful. Your past self can assist you in unlocking the secrets as to why you might be frozen. So looking at old traumas. So whatever trauma is in front of you at this current moment, look back to your past self, further back than anything associated with this current life event that has left you brokenhearted. There might be something from childhood that comes up. There might be something from a previous relationship that comes up. And you will find a common thread. And by finding that common thread, you'll be able to understand how you got through that situation back at that moment in time. And you're going to find some helpful tips about how you can use that same methodology, use some of those same tools to assist you in moving forward. And I work with that in terms of calling it like rewind to leap forward. And you can rewind in this timeline, which is this lifetime. From this lifetime you were born up into the 5 minutes ago, that is all this timeline. And you can rewind back to past lives. We can pull out some really great information, some good lessons, some past traumas we have brought in with us that are keeping us frozen in this current situation. And by going back and doing this, we can unfreeze that aspect of ourselves, whether it be in this timeline or the past timeline, in order to bring them forward so we can go forward. Sometimes when we're frozen and we can't figure out anything behind us that is going to help, again, you can connect with that future self and they can assist you in understanding the steps. Sometimes we get so caught up in having to have all of the answers about how things are going to unfold, what are all the details going to be, that we get frozen. We can't take any baby steps. No action is possible because we are so caught in this moment of overwhelm trying to figure out all of these details. So your future self with you can share in a new perspective. They have walked the path. And every time you go up a rung and you come back around, like we spoke about yesterday, you're going to come back around to the same traumas. And there are just a different layer. But as you're moving up, you have a higher perspective and you're further away from that tie of that fear, that grief, that pain. So those emotions that were once bottom rung and we were so tied to become smaller, and they're easier for us to navigate. That isn't to say some layers in the future still won't be deep and raw, but you will have the tool set to, and the trust to go deep and to do it so you can continue up your healing spiral. So in all of this, we have some really great tools about how to view ourselves. It's super important to give yourself grace for wherever you're at. If that is the bottom rung, that is okay. If you have not been able to take any steps in healing in whatever situation that you are at, that is perfectly okay too. That is why we are here. We're here to talk about how you can do that. It is also perfectly okay if we need to spend a lot of time turning back and healing that past self in order to move forward. Because the more you can heal from the past, moving forward, again, is going to reinforce that power that we have, that control of how things unfold. We have a deeper, more wholesome, healed state to create from. Attaching to your future self and pulling her in can help, or him in can help us get over the fear of the unknown, because the unknown can keep us paralyzed as well. So if you have any questions about self, about yourself before, during, or after heartbreak, if anything that I'm talking to you about is resonating, let me know. We are going to do a really fun healing with your spiral staircase, and you'll be able to work with either your past self or your future self. And this just came about before I jumped on here. I'm going to bring in some really beautiful light codes, because this eclipse is also assisting in bringing some layers off. So you're going to be able to move. I'm seeing a lot of people moving through a rung that they are very, very stuck on, but I'm seeing others are going to go up several rungs. And whatever shows up for you is right and perfect for where that you are at, because the energy of this new moon is going to assist in shifting what those rungs look like and feel like for you. So I'm actually super excited. If there isn't any questions, we're going to get into this healing and it's going to be amazing. So go ahead and just take a deep breath and close your eyes and drop down into your heart space. And on your next exhale, just take a super comfortable seat in your heart space. And you're going to notice that there is a really beautiful golden lotus flower in the center of your heart space. And she's going to be calling for you to just take a seat. And you can sink into the sacred nectar of this lotus flower. And as you sit, her petals are going to gently wrap around you, forming a beautiful cocoon. And as they cocoon around you, you're going to see the petals be like translucent, and they're going to activate. You might see some light codes and symbols start to dance through the petals. They might be shining in from the outside. And it's okay if you're not seeing them. Know that they're there, illuminating and dancing around you. And these light codes are gently working in this energy of this new moon to prepare these old energies, these soft layers, these deep layers, anything that's ready to come up and to be recycled, there's any aspects of you that are ready to die in order to give birth to a new evolved aspect of you, they're going to assist in this. And as these light codes are working, you're going to notice, sense, or feel from up above, there's a giant bucket of source energy, the great I am. And this represents the masculine energy. This beautiful energy is going to drip its golden white energy down upon your crown chakra, on the top of your head. It's going to gently swirl through your third eye, cleansing and clearing any filters that are ready to be cleared. It's going to work its way through your brain and your nervous system, gently recalibrating. It's going to work its way through your face and sinuses, assisting in cleaning your ear chakras. It's going to move through your throat, activating your authentic voice, connecting that in on a deeper level, working its way down your shoulders, caressing your sacred heart. It's going to wash into your heart space. You might even feel it gently swirling around your lotus flower, shifting the colors of the light codes as it works its way down through your solar plexus, through your sacral and root chakras, all the way down your legs and feet to the tips of your toes. And when it reaches your toes, your grounding roots are going to activate. And as they activate, they're going to work their way through every layer of the Earth's crust, where they're going to meet with the molten core, and they're going to connect to Mother Earth's heart chakra. And Gaia is going to send up a beautiful crystalline elixir, the sacred feminine. It's going to be a rose quartz and almost like a rose gold coming up through those roots. It's going to work its way up your feet and legs, eventually coming up into your heart space where it mixes with the masculine. And as it's mixing, swirling all around you in your beautiful cocoon, you're going to notice, sense, or feel high vibrational guardians, spirit guides, animal guides, plant medicine, elementals, and any other high vibrational energies coming in from the east, from the south, from the west, and from the north, keeping you connected and protected 360 degrees all around, as above, so below. And in this beautiful sacred space, with all of these sacred energies, some beautiful crystalline energies are going to come in and start scrubbing and cleaning. Bring in some crystal cola, rhodonite, selenite, citrine, sodalite wants to come in. And again, if you don't know anything about these stones, don't worry. The energies are still working. See some beautiful scolcitite, a lot of whites and blues. And these energies are just gently scrubbing any of these old energies ready to go. And as they're working their magic, you're going to notice your lotus flower is going to spin. It's going to be spinning around you. The light codes start dancing and activate. You might even see them streaming through your body and being. They're working their way through your energy field. And your lotus flower is going to pick you up off your heart space, off the floor of your heart space and carry you across all space and timelines, all portals and dimensions. And when you land and your lotus flower opens up, you're going to notice you standing on a rung of your golden healing spiral staircase. And whatever rung you're at is going to be a place that you have struggled with, a rung that you have not been able to move up from. And just notice where you're at. The rung will be illuminated. If you're on the ground and it's the bottom rung, if you're part way up and it's under your feet, whatever it is, just take note. And as you're connecting with this rung, whatever event, whatever emotion, whatever feeling is coming up, just allow it to percolate. This is the raw, this is the event, this is the deep layer that you are ready to work with. And remember, you are safe. You can remind yourself you are safe. And as you're standing on your rung, where you might be frozen, you might be paralyzed, you're going to notice right in front of you is an elevator queue. And you're going to decide whether you go down or whether you go up. To go down, you're going to go back in time to work with a past self or a past life. If you go up, you're going to work with your future self. You will know just by how you feel called. There is no right, there is no wrong. It's what's right and true for you here today. So go ahead and pick which button you want to go up or down and select that. And when you make your selection, the rung you are standing on is either going to go down or up and take you to either your past or future self. Wherever you're at, when you get there, just take note of your past or your future self. What are they doing? What state are they in? And just observe. Once you've observed, go ahead and make your way to your past self or your future self. And let her or him know that you are them. And you came to seek their help. You can give them a hug and greet them in whatever way feels right and true for you. And ask your past self or your future self, why are they there? If it's your past self, you can ask, what is happening? What are they feeling? Why are they where they're at? And have your conversation. If it's your future self, ask them, how did they get to where they are at? What critical step did they take in order to move up off the rung that you are currently frozen on? You can ask your past self, if that's where you're at, what they need to feel in order to move from that rung you are currently stuck on. As you're having your conversation, I'm going to be pulling in some light codes. Remind yourself, your past self, that you are safe. And if you've been with your past self, they are going to share a message with you, a key lesson or pattern that is preventing you from moving forward. And if you're with your future self, they are going to share a message with you about what you needed to let go of in order to move forward. Receive those messages now. Thanking your past self or your future self for all of the information. You can give them a hug and tell them how much you love them and appreciate their wisdom. Your past self or your future self is going to reach into their pocket and they're going to pull out a gift. Receive that now. Thanking them for their gifts, you're going to ask them where they would like to go. They can come back to your heart space with you. They can go off into the ethers, or they can be connected with their soul family. Whatever they choose is right and perfect, and they will be with the cosmos. And say your goodbyes, and as you do, you're going to notice a beautiful beam of light opening up to transport them where they would like to go. And once they've left and the beam of light closes, where the light was, you're going to notice, sense, or feel a beautiful crystalline lamp left hanging above your head. And this beautiful lamp is going to activate, and it's going to send down crystalline energies and any and all areas of your brain that have been stuck in a loop, keeping you stuck on the rung, any old patterns, habits, beliefs, outdated stories that are no longer serving you are going to illuminate. And this crystalline snow is going to snow down and begin filling in those illuminated places, deactivating them, releasing them, transmuting them back into love and light across all space and time, timelines and portals, dimensions, seen or unseen, known or unknown, in this life, past lives, previous lives, future lives, parallel lives, and anything else you don't know what to ask for is now being cleansed and cleared. And you'll notice this crystalline energy, when it's complete, will look like fresh snow with no tracks, a clean, pure canvas. And with this beautiful, clean canvas, you're going to see in front of you a golden path. And I invite you to walk over to the path. Before you step upon the path, I invite you to set your intention. And please make it a big intention. Whatever knowledge you gain from your past, previous or future self, whatever was let go of, what do you want to fill that in with? I didn't ask for that now. When your intention's been set, go ahead and make your way on the golden path. And as you move through the golden path, at the end of the path, you will arrive back standing on your staircase. And I want you to observe where you are at in relation to where you were. Observe, what does your staircase look like? Were you able to move up? Were you able to just stay where you are yet feel free? As you're on your staircase, more light codes are pouring in, assisting you in evolving and growing. And these codes are going to sit in your energy field. And you may notice you're able to move more rungs in the next few days. As this energy continues to work, these light codes swirling all around you are going to bring you back into your heart space, back into this present time where you can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the present. Let me know how that was for you and what happened with your staircase. I'm seeing for some of you, you're going to be connected with your staircase still over the next few days. And like I said, you may be able to move some more rungs. It may be looking different. You may have a sense of feeling really different. So, excuse me, lost my voice on that one. Coming back to your staircase often is really, really important. And the records can assist you in moving through your staircase. We will be talking more tomorrow, about specifically how the records can assist you in healing and connecting with where it is that you want to go with your future self. The records can really assist in you rewinding in order to leap forward, going back and working with those past aspects of ourselves, even if they do not feel related to what is currently happening, they will definitely find that common thread. So you can book a free discovery call and I will give you a free mini reading. Hi, Anna. Hi, Emily. Hello, Diana. Watching everybody. Hello. Some of you have had the free discovery call, and there are lots of ways to work with me. I want to share that link if you have not and would like to know more about how the records can assist you. And I'll pop that into the chat box. That is in the chat box on Zoom. Let me see if I can pull up Facebook. And I've also created a one session because it is so important to have just one healing. One session is so powerful. Never underestimate the power of one, because it can allow us clarity. It can allow us moving forward. So here is that link. Pop that in here. My current offering for the one session is here in your chat box. I will pop that onto Zoom and I will pop that into Facebook. And anybody that is on the live call or in this masterclass, you're going to get an extra $25 off, which brings it down to $197. And what the power of one deep records session can hold is incredible, because like you experienced today, this healing will continue to affect you. Doing a deep level healing will allow you to go up the rungs and make sense of understanding what is your next step, what is your next baby step. And it'll allow you to release that fear, that attachment, that suffering of having to know all of the details, how everything's going to unfold. And it's going to give you the confidence to continue your journey so you don't get paralyzed on a rung again when it comes back around. Things will be going fine for a while, you'll be feeling all right, but when that next level comes around, having done some really deep work, especially with your past self, is going to allow you, when you see it, to know how to navigate it and get up over that situation with more ease, with more grace, with less fear, and allow you to keep going in a confident manner. And it also allows you to have a new perspective. And having a new perspective is so important and crucial in terms of connecting with that true, authentic self in the midst of heartbreak, in the wake of heartbreak, in the midst of growth, and in the wake of growth. So tomorrow, day number 3, I hope you all can make it. I will be talking more in depth about how the Akashic Records can assist in folding time as far as moving up that spiral staircase. And I will be doing a free Q&A. So if you have any personal questions, you can post them. If you can't make the live, you can send them to me ahead of time, and I will channel the answers for you on the live call so you can get answers to your very personal questions. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that was helpful, and I am looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Much love and light to you.